Snipers, you have to see what's happening to the Bitcoin price this Thursday as we are seeing sideways price action, which is no surprise. The path of least resistance is always going to be sideways to a little bit higher. However, we are above the weekly open here at 43,100 US dollars, which is a really good thing to buy us some more time to see some action between the range of 44,800 and 41,950. And today we want to talk about what's happening to the DXY as we have just pushed above a major resistance level. Notice how we broke 93.82. This is a pretty big deal. It's the first time we've broke this resistance in over a year, and we know when the dollar value strengthens, assets tend to come down. And so this is a big puzzle piece heading into Friday, where we know the cryptocurrency market is going to become more manipulated due to CME futures being closed. And then we're going to look at what's happening here to Ethereum, back above 3,000 US dollars, but yet above the weekly open. The reason for this is because we are still seeing weakness against Bitcoin, and that's why Bitcoin has been able to get above its weekly open despite Ethereum not being able to. But we do want to talk about what's happening here on the smaller time frames, since we are now above the weekly open, which is no surprise. Once again, light volume, the path of least resistance, sideways to a little bit higher. What I'm finding interesting here is we've failed to form any new highs from this consolidation so far, currently rejecting the 100 period moving average on the 3-hour chart. We really want to see Bitcoin get to 44,800 to assume that the bulls have some sort of control over price, because if we can't get to 44,800, that assumes that we fail to break the consolidation highs, and that could be a sign of bearish pressure. But so far in the 3-hour, we have a bullish continuation candle that took us above the weekly open. So I think that's a very positive thing. If we can get to 44,800, now we can start talking about the potential of testing 47,000, where we have the monthly open, and this would be a very significant break of resistance that could potentially change the storyline for Bitcoin to now potentially even get to 49,700. But until that happens, we really want to monitor these smaller time frames to see if we can get that test of 44,800. And of course, we know 41,950 is the major support. The more we've come down below this level, the more the order books get cleared, and the weaker the price action becomes when we come back down to this level. And so the more times that we come below, the likelihood of us breaking this level to the $36,500 level becomes likely. But we also have that $38,000 level as our first downside target. And we are still playing in the range of 44,800 to 38,000 because of the fact that even today's daily candle still has a body below 41,950. So I talked about the path of least resistance. It's exactly what we're seeing here for Bitcoin. It's also allowing some altcoins to see some breathing room, which is a good thing. But the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart clearly showing us that it's not in favor right now, being the fact that we are still below this weekly open at 71,000 Satoshis. If we can get above this weekly open, we can potentially assume some strength for altcoins. But for now, we have to assume that the Ethereum to Bitcoin chart is trying to head back towards 65,000 Satoshis. And that's going to be the most important support that we're going to have to monitor to see if we can hold. Because if this breaks, once again, that could be a huge concern for the altcoin market, being the fact that Ethereum is a leading indicator for altcoins. Now, with the total cryptocurrency market cap chart forming this lower high so far, we've assumed that we got this top here around that $2.6 trillion level. We saw this lower high form. This here was potentially the end, or at least short-term end, of altcoin season, being the fact that we finally got that move to the upside after initially forming a high, and now the potential of this downside move that's already been progressing that took the total cryptocurrency market cap chart from 2 trillion now back down to 1.9 trillion is potentially going to bleed out altcoins to allow Bitcoin dominance to reverse. I think this is the storyline that we need to stick with at this point, because remember, the DXY is extremely correlated to Bitcoin dominance. When I say Bitcoin dominance, that doesn't mean Bitcoin price. When I say Bitcoin dominance is going to increase, that doesn't mean Bitcoin price is going to increase. The DXY being extremely correlated, already double bottomed, and much and above the 20-week moving average, already making its move to continue towards this 100 and 200 week moving average tells me that at some point or another, Bitcoin dominance is going to be getting itself above this 20-week moving average at 46% dominance. That's going to be an extremely interesting thing to monitor for Bitcoin, because assuming we get above 46% dominance, we have to ask ourselves, does that mean the total cryptocurrency market cap chart is going to see further highs, or are we going to be seeing a breakdown in the total market cap chart with altcoins bleeding out into Bitcoin, causing Bitcoin dominance to move higher? And that's what I'm really going to be monitoring coming into this weekend. I think that at some point or another, we're going to get an answer here with Bitcoin dominance. So that's probably the most important revolving part to watch right now. And then, of course, with the DXY moving like the way it is, the S&P 500, notice here, still below the 50-day moving average after rejecting it, sitting at the 100-day moving average. This is the first time we've tested the 100-day moving average in 2021, and this is actually the first time in a while that we've actually tested the 100-day and then rejected the 50-day, and now back at the 100-day. Usually we, once again, test the 100-day and we continue to the upside, but we've yet to see that right now, showing some weakness in traditional markets, telling me that there's still some fear in institutional capital, and that could certainly affect the cryptocurrency market. Once again, international markets and commodities not moving much. This was certainly going to be a quick update, being the fact that we're still moving sideways, but I do want to address the fact that because we are now above the weekly open, we are now buying ourselves some time. We've yet to break new highs from the consolidation that we currently have, and until we can get to 44,800 and test this major resistance, we have to assume that we're going to stay between the range of 41,950 and 44,800. And with that, I know this was a quick update, but once again, we're seeing the sideways price action that we were expecting. And until we start to see some decisiveness at 44,800 or 41,950, we just have to assume this channel is going to maintain itself. And that's not a bad thing, because the longer we can stay at these higher prices, the better for the downside scenario, because then it could be a little bit less intense, of course. So that's about it for today. Thank you all for tuning into the Snipers channel today. I hope you enjoyed the quick update. I appreciate each and every one of you tuned into the channel. I couldn't do this without you. Remember to smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm so we can hit 100,000 snipers on this channel. That would be a dream come true for me. Over a decade that I've been making YouTube videos, specifically about cryptocurrency, about 4 years now, and it has always been a dream to hit 100,000. So, smashing that like button certainly helps. Thank you all for tuning into the Snipers channel today. Until next time, snipers